Cerrone has got a serious problem facing southpaws.
Yep.
If you go back on his record and you look at his losses, I'm shooting it off the top of my head. I don't know exactly. Let's say he has 12, 13, 14 losses in his career out of 50 fights. And I would say that 9 to 10 of them have been against southpaws. And if you look at guys that either are southpaw or switch stance into southpaw, Anthony Pettis is a guy that he went southpaw against Cerrone.
Yep.
Body kick ends the fight. And, RDA is southpaw. There's a lot of guys, when you look at guys that give Cerrone problems, southpaws are a problem for him. But if I'm going to point out a spot that I think Donald can beat Conor, it's if he can get him to the ground.
I also think that where Conor is weak is in the clinch, knees, elbows, and the size of Donald Cerrone of being 6 foot, 6'1", somewhere in there. If he's able to push Conor to the fence and dirty box him, grind him out, do all those things, keep his weight on him, because let's not forget the next part of this whole thing was it's at 170.
I don't think he gets the credit or the recognition based upon a guy that likes to stand up and fight.
Yeah.
His ground game is nasty. Yeah. He has got great transitions on his ground game, and if he can get that fight to the ground and just work on Conor down there.
Yep. His kicking is phenomenal. His jiu-jitsu, like you were saying, is drastically underestimated. His submissions are so damn good. And we saw it with Mike Perry a little bit when I believe he swung for the armbar, switched over, went belly down on the armbar, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Look, he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal on the ground. And people were talking about, it's Cerrone. He's on a losing skid. He's older, this and that. I'm like, look, man.
He is older. He is on a losing skid. That happens.
Yeah, that's part of the game. And the Cowboy could be having a red panty night. Just like
he could disrupt the whole thing for him. Yes.
He could ruin
That's the
this.
best part.
And people, I don't think people understand. At 170, his performances have been better at 170 than they have been at 155. On top of it, he will physically be, I think, stronger and bigger than Conor McGregor. Clinch, knees, elbows, dirty boxing, getting in that, weighing on him against the fence, controlling him in the clinch, those type of things we have seen in the past. Nate Diaz was able to hold Conor McGregor against the fence a couple times, and do some little bit of dirty boxing in there. Nate Diaz is not physically a strong person. He's good at jiu-jitsu. He's got a couple little tricks up his sleeves, but physically strong, he is not. And we saw that with the Masvidal fight. Cerrone has the ability and the capability to press him to the fence, control Conor against the fence a little bit, and land some dirty boxing, some knees, some elbows, those kind of things to really kind of start to maybe lump him up, cut him up, make him fight for that position, take some steam off of that straight left and those kicks.
Donald Cerrone needs to crush that distance. He needs to press Conor and create a crush of that space that Conor is now consistently backing off and trying to circle away to create that distance again. And he's got to then crush it again. And that's, it's effort, and you're putting yourself in danger to do it. But if he can crush that distance and make it a boxing range fight where he can then get into clinch situations, that is exactly the fight that he needs to do to win that fight.